with that in mind, I know we're going to get complicated and in the weeds and all that, but I want to start very simply, actually, which the namesake of this show, what is money? I've named it that to try and encourage people to be more inquisitive and curious about the fundamental nature of money. And to satisfy my own curiosity, I would like to ask you, a mind that I respect a great deal, that question: what is money?
Well, I think that's a terrific place to start because, in the 21st century, especially as we move farther and further away from actual money, physical commodity money, and get into heading towards what I hope is, a more digital future, it's a question I don't think many people answer or even think to themselves about. It's just, I got a couple pieces of paper in my pocket that have stamped on it something from the government. That's money. I go to the grocery store, I tap my phone or, I tap my credit card to the machine. I don't know what money is. It's something happens and I walk out of the grocery store with some goods. And I don't think enough people really stop and think about what it actually is. And what it is not is money is not wealth. And that's another thing I think we get hung up on too, is that we talk about people who have money, you must be wealthy. And that's true in a sense, but that's not really what money's purpose is. We talk about the three main functions of money, which are store of value is one, but I think the other two functions are more important, which are medium of exchange as well as unit of account. And when you think about them, especially those two functions, what you're really talking about is money is a tool. It's a tool of a very highly specialized modern economy uses to conduct commerce most efficiently, flexibly, and intuitively as possible. So in a really basic level, money is supposed to be secondary to the real economy, and it's a tool that allows the real economy, commerce in the real economy, to take place because it intermediates. It intermediates between competing interests. And as we're going to see with the Eurodollar system, it intermediates between often very different systems. So that's how it is a tool. But we always got to keep in mind, money isn't wealth, it's a tool. When you look at it from that perspective, then I think some of these other things start to fall into line about, how far we've gone from what they're supposed to be doing.
Right. No, that's a great intro. I want to ask the follow-up question then, just to distinguish between the two then. What is wealth?
Wealth, in a very capitalist traditional sense, is a productive enterprise that is sustainable. It's not piles of stacks of Federal Reserve note papers in the bank. Wealth is, in economic terms, I mean small e economic terms, it's the sustainable productive capacity to combine labor and capital and all these other secret things that, Adam Smith's invisible hand that combine together, that when you add all these things up to get all these things up, you have a functioning economy that raises the living standards of everybody else. So wealth is the productive capacity in a very aggregate sense. Wealth is the productive capacity of the system, and on an individual level are the individual productive capacities.
Got it. Okay. So that's interesting. Defining wealth as the productive capacity. Does that include capital too? The things that have already been produced?
Yep.
You put that?
Yep,
okay.
Absolutely.
So then
it's like a productive enterprise is going to be generating capital, which is then used to combine all of the factors of production into the secret sauce of capitalism.
Gotcha. So it's the capacity to produce capital plus the capital produced is wealth. And then is it proper to call money a call option on that wealth in a way? Like if you're holding money, you get an option on that?
In a way, yeah. I think if you think of more along the lines of store of value, that's what it's for, right? I mean, you get paid for your labor in currency, and you want that currency to be able to be of use whenever you want it to be of use. If you get paid on a Friday, but you don't go to the grocery store for a couple of weeks, the last thing you want is an unstable currency, so that 2 weeks later you're worried about whether or not you have the same that you thought when you traded your labor for this paper. Right. So in a sense that, for labor, that is their wealth contribution to the real economy. And if they're trading their labor for paper tokens, that's exactly what it is. It's an option on future expenses. The ability to trade your labor one day for goods and services that you're going to require some other day.